Well, hello everybody. So here we have an old window. It's not, or actually it was insulated glass. Older insulated wooden windows that unfortunately we have a sash that's broken. We could take that sash out and probably get it fixed. But we're at the point where these are just kind of old windows and we're going to use a replacement window on here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this out. Now here's the interesting thing, and let me grab my tape measure here. What we're going to do, and you can see right here, we have almost 32 inches of space between this piece of beaded molding and this piece of beaded molding. And we have 54 inches height-wise, 53 and a half, which is good. Now with these old windows, the nice thing is there's this little metal track that's right here for them to go in. That actually goes into a flat piece. So what we'll be able to do is, I've already scored the molding so we don't damage that too much. Scored the molding on here so we can pull the molding off, and then we'll take the bead off and we can pull the windows out. Oops. All right. Little prop bar. And we're going to try and take this off very carefully that we don't damage the drywall. And well, we popped the wood up there. But so we don't damage the drywall, can reuse the molding. The bad thing on this is this molding has been here since the 80s, and this is a different casing than what you find today. So there we go, we got that one. Actually, it's not going to be as easy as we thought. Or does that come off? Yeah, that does come off. Okay, so you can see here this little beaded molding that's right here. I'm going to be able to pull that off because we're going to reuse that. I'm going to be careful so that way we don't mess it up. If we do, then we're going to have to get some more. Okay. There we go. All right. So what we have here, you can see this is the metal channel that the window sits in. So we're going to try and pull all these off. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and leave these on the molding up on there. And we might be able to do it without pulling all of this off. There we go. All right, we're getting there. Save that piece. Put that piece chipped off of it. Hammer, please. And just like that, we have our opening. Now we got this little piece of wood up here that we'll take out because that's going to need to come out of the way. But let's check our opening. Now, the windows that we've purchased are 32 by 54 is what the size that they have on the package. But if you actually look at it, what it really is you have some room for play. The actual size of it is 31 3/4 by 53 1/4. And you have actually a piece of plastic that is made for raising and lowering it, and also a little channel because you see we have actually a bevel here so the water drains. And when we go through here, you can see we've got 32 1/8 and we have 54. So it's going to fit in there perfect once we take this out. So yeah, this is coming along pretty cool. This is where replacement windows actually are pretty easy to get to do. When you have window frames and things like this is made to literally just go right into place in there. So we just got to make sure we don't have any nails that are showing right in here to bump it, but that's our opening. And we're gonna go through, take out the other window as well, and then that way we can make sure that they're plumb and square when we put in here. And these have a hollow channel in them. What we'll do is we'll use some insulation foam to go on the sides of it, so that way it'll seal those in and make sure that we don't have any drafts. And we'll have a great clear view, and we won't have to worry about painting them anymore. That's the big thing. That one on the way out, but here's what's cool. You've watched this in real time. It's only been a half an hour and we have both of these windows out, and now it's just a matter of actually putting them in. So I haven't even unpackaged them yet, so we're gonna clean this stuff up and then we're gonna unpackage them and we're ready to put these suckers right back in. And this is going to be easy peasy. Now these are the old screens that we won't need anymore, because the new windows are going to stop right here on this. And on the outside, we'll come back in, we'll caulk those to make sure they're nice and snug. Here's our adjustment cap for the top, and this actually will go on the front to help seal up underneath of it. That's a rough fit. Now, you can see the space here on the top, and this is what this is for. You can end up putting this up in here, and that way you can slide it so that way it's snug in there. The great thing is we've got less than 1/8 of an inch on the side of it, but that's all there is to it. And the other piece is, this is like a flashing piece that will go on the front of it, and this will seal that edge on the bottom of it for it to be able to drain. But as you can see, it's really not that much, as long as you have the right size window. so we've got our cap here on the top, and we've got a great fit there. We've got a little space at the bottom, but we've got our little flange in the front there, which is sealing that up. We'll end up putting expansion foam back in here before we put our little piece of molding. And what we have is they have 4 screws that are here made to go. And the holes up here at the top, there should be 2 more at the bottom. And we put those in, and make sure that you don't over tighten it, because what will happen is you'll rack the windows. And what you want to do on this is keep the windows latched, because that'll keep it true. You get the first 2 up in there, and then you can slide it up and get the other ones in there. Oh, there's that one. And Photoshop getting you in there. Okay. All right. Oh, remove after installation. Oh, that's to keep them from opening too far in shipping. Other one should be down low in there, and we got a channel. We got to slide them up with a screwdriver. Need that. There it is. Cool. Just like that, we got our new window in. That's one. We'll get the other one, and then we'll be able to reinstall the trim that we had, paint that up, and we're good to go. So this is one of the things you'll have to do if you're a homeowner with rental properties, or pay somebody else to do it, whichever one. It's gonna have to be done. I'm Mark Holmes, of course, with Michael Anthony, and we're gonna keep on fixing this house. All right, so just like that, we've got 2 windows in here, and you can see they go ahead, close and latch. Boom. The nice thing about these windows are they actually tilt so you can clean them from the inside. And what I'm gonna do is I actually have some of this gap and crack filler. Now you gotta be careful, because you got the big gaps and stuff which will blow out the windows and things. Then you have the gap filler. This is the gap filler. So we're gonna put a little bit of this, because up underneath of this, it's hollow. But I'm gonna put this in here. I'm gonna wait till tomorrow before I put the molding back on. So if there's any of that that squeezes out, I can clean it up. But be real careful with this stuff, because you get this stuff on your fingers, it has to literally wear off. It doesn't just come off. It does not. And don't use too much of it, because it will literally quadruple in size. So a little bit is all you wanna use. And also too, usually, they've got this top that's supposed to, it doesn't work. Once you use this thing and open it, it's done. But I want to put a little bit. Okay. Up underneath of there to let it fill. You can see it already expanding in here. And then we'll clean this up tomorrow. That will keep out any extra air. That's in there. Now, the good thing about this is it has a foam rubber seal that's on there. This opening is just right for it, so you don't need to go through and put a whole lot of this stuff or try and stuff a whole bunch of insulation. It's actually really good. By the time we get the molding up here, caulk it in here, it will be tight. It'll be good to go. So I'm very, very pleased that we got this much done in here today. From having a broken window from the tenants to now having 2 nice new ones. What I may do eventually is each time I have somebody come through, I'll just change a couple of the windows. There's only 2 more up here on this, 3 up here on this level, and 2 on the lower level. So actually we might go through and just change them all now. It's more energy efficient, and they definitely look nice when you look out there. All right, changing windows. You want to get Thompson Creek or somebody else to do that for you? For me, I've spent about an hour putting them in. I'll reuse the same molding on here and stuff and paint it, and I'm done. If you don't have the tools, there's not a whole lot of tools that you need. If you have the skill, you can save a lot of money, because generally speaking, it's anywhere from like $200 to $1,000 a window to replace it labor. I'm Mark Holmes, and I'll see you soon. There we go. We got our windows in. We ended up letting the insulation foam dry overnight and clean that out. We reinstalled the original molding, and what we'll do is we'll go through with some caulk, and we'll caulk all the way around it to fill it in. I did chip a piece of wood up here, but I put some glue on here, and you can see where they put up all kinds of mini blinds and stuff. We'll get some ready patch, fill that in, and then sand it out. But all we really have to do is now, we'll caulk this molding up in here and use the best tool that the good Lord gave us, and that is our fingers, to smooth it out. And if you get a rag and wet it, that's also good to help keep your finger clean. Put a good coat of paint on it after our caulk dries, and it'll look brand freaking new. And that's it. So we got ourselves a nice energy efficient window. We took care of the broken one, and we saved ourselves money, which I always like to do, getting this together. I'm not going to say that out the bat, you changing your first window is going to go that easy. But with practice, it can. The biggest key on doing this is making sure that you have the right size window. Because then you don't have to worry about changing the siding on the outside or messing with any of that. It'll all go right into it. And so they may not at your home centers have the exact size window you need, but there's so many manufacturers where you can have the size custom made and ordered to replace it. Again, if you were going to a window company, you could expect to spend about $1,000 a window for the window as well as the labor for changing it. And it's really not that difficult to do it. Voila. All right, we're gonna get this done and we're gonna start painting this place.